Hello everyone, and welcome to our session on mastering some fundamental debugging techniques using WinDbg. Today, we're diving into two incredibly powerful tools in any debugger's arsenal, setting breakpoints and viewing call stacks. WinDbg, while often perceived as complex, is an indispensable tool for deep-level system debugging, especially for driver development, kernel debugging, and analyzing crash dumps. By the end of this lesson, you'll be comfortable with pausing your program at precise moments and understanding the sequence of function calls that led to a specific point in execution. This knowledge is not just theoretical, it's immediately applicable, enhancing your ability to diagnose and resolve even the most elusive software bugs. So let's get started on enhancing your debugging skills and making WinDbg a more familiar and friendly tool. Let's begin by understanding what a breakpoint truly is. At its core, a breakpoint is a designated point in a program where execution is deliberately paused. Think of it as hitting the pause button in a video game. Everything stops, allowing you to examine the game's state. In software debugging, this means you can inspect variables, register values, memory contents, and the overall state of your application at that exact moment. Breakpoints are absolutely crucial for debugging logic errors. Instead of guessing why your program behaves unexpectedly, you can strategically place breakpoints to observe the program's flow step by step. There are several types of breakpoints, which we'll explore shortly, including software, hardware, and data breakpoints, each serving specific diagnostic purposes. WinDbg offers a versatile array of breakpoint types, each tailored for different debugging scenarios. First, we have software breakpoints, often the most commonly used. These are set directly in your code using commands like BP for breakpoints at a loaded address, or BU for unresolved breakpoints set by a symbol name, which resolves when the module loads. Next, hardware breakpoints, initiated with the BA command, are invaluable for situations where software breakpoints aren't suitable, perhaps in kernel mode or when needing to watch memory access. Then there are conditional breakpoints, allowing execution to pause only when a specified condition is met, for instance, a variable reaching a certain value. Finally, data breakpoints are a specialized form of hardware breakpoint that trigger when a specific memory location is read from or written to, helping track down memory corruption issues. Choosing the right type can significantly streamline your debugging process. Now, let's get practical with setting basic software breakpoints. The simplest way to set a software breakpoint in WinDbg is by using the BP or BU commands. The BP command sets a breakpoint at a specific memory address that's already loaded. More commonly, especially when dealing with modules that might not be loaded yet, or when debugging by symbol, you'll use BU. BU stands for Unresolved Breakpoint. This means you can set a breakpoint by a function name or a symbol, and WinDbg will resolve its address once the corresponding module is loaded into memory. For example, to set a breakpoint at the main function of an application named MyApp, you would type BU MyApp main into the command window. WinDbg will confirm the breakpoint has been set, and execution will pause there when main is called. It's a fundamental step in controlling your program's flow. Moving beyond simple software breakpoints, let's explore the power of advanced breakpoints like hardware and conditional ones. Hardware breakpoints, set with the BA command, are fantastic for monitoring memory access. The syntax is BA access size address. Here, access can be R for read, W for write, E for execute, or I for I/O. Size specifies the byte length, and address is the memory location. For instance, BAW4 myapp:(g myVariable would break whenever the 4-byte global variable g myVariable in myapp is written to. Conditional breakpoints allow you to pause execution only when a specific condition is true. You can combine a BP command with a J command and a debugger command, such as BP address J condition "GC." The GC command means go from current and resumes execution if the condition isn't met. This precise control helps narrow down complex issues. Once you've set several breakpoints, you'll inevitably need to manage them. WinDbg provides straightforward commands for viewing, clearing, enabling, and disabling breakpoints. To see a list of all currently active breakpoints, simply type BL into the command window. This will display each breakpoint with a unique ID, its address, and its current status. If you want to remove a specific breakpoint, use BCJID, where JID is the breakpoint number listed by BL. For example, BC0 would clear breakpoint with ID 0. Sometimes you might not want to remove a breakpoint entirely, but just temporarily disable it. For this, use BDJID. To re-enable a disabled breakpoint, use BEJID. These commands give you full control over your debugging session, allowing you to fine-tune where and when your program pauses. Now, let's shift our focus to another indispensable debugging concept, the call stack. Imagine your program as a series of nested function calls. When function A calls function B, and function B then calls function C, a record of this sequence is kept. This record is precisely what the call stack is. It's a dynamic data structure that stores information about the active subroutines or functions, including the order in which they were called, their local variables, and the return address. Essentially, the call stack shows you the exact execution path that led to the current point in your program. This is incredibly powerful for debugging, especially when trying to understand why a certain piece of code was reached, or to trace back the origin of an error or a crash. Without the call stack, pinpointing the source of an issue would be like navigating a maze blindfolded. In WinDbg, examining the call stack is straightforward using a set of K commands. The most basic command is K itself, which provides a standard stack trace, showing you the sequence of function calls. You might also encounter KN for a stack trace with frame numbers, or KP, which includes parameters. For a more detailed view, KB, which stands for kernel stack backtrace but is commonly used for user mode too, is often preferred, as it displays parameters passed to each function and the frame pointers. If you need even more verbose information, including flag values, KV is the command to use. When you execute one of these commands, WinDbg will output a list of stack frames, each representing a function call. Understanding how to interpret this output is critical, and we'll dive into that next. Interpreting the output of a call stack command like KB or KV is crucial for effective debugging. Each line in the call stack represents one stack frame, corresponding to an active function call. The format typically includes child SP, which is the stack pointer at the time of the call, ret address, the return address to the calling function, and most importantly, the call site. The call site usually shows the module function plus offset. For example, myapp myfunction plus 0x20 tells you that the current execution is within myfunction in the myapp module, specifically at an offset of 0x20 bytes from the start of that function. By tracing these call sites from the bottom of the stack, the oldest function call, to the top, the current function, you can reconstruct the entire execution flow. This ability to pinpoint the exact source of a crash or an unexpected behavior is one of the most powerful aspects of using WinDbg. We've covered a significant amount of ground today, equipping you with essential WinDbg skills. We started by exploring breakpoints, learning how they allow you to deliberately stop program execution and inspect the program's state at precise moments. We covered various types, from simple software breakpoints to advanced conditional and data breakpoints, and how to effectively manage them using BL, BC, BD, and BE. Then we delved into the call stack, understanding its role as a historical record of function calls and how to view it using commands like K, KB, and KV. Most importantly, we learned how to interpret those stack frames to trace the execution path and identify the origins of issues. Remember, practice is key to truly mastering these techniques. I encourage you to experiment with WinDbg and explore its many other advanced features. Happy debugging!